Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. I declare open this congregation for the conferment of awards.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chancellor, for someone like me who loved ballet from the age of 7, but spent just 3 years actually contributing to its success as Chief Executive of the English National Ballet, it's a rare honour and privilege to present Marguerite Porter, Principal Ballerina, Choreographer, Communicator, Teacher, for an honorary degree here at the University. During her more than 50-year career in ballet, Marguerite worked with all the famous names. The list reads like a history of great ballet in Britain in the second half of the 20th century. Ninette de Valois, Margot Fonteyn, Rudolf Nureyev, Anthony Dow, Frederick Ashton, and Kenneth Macmillan. Yet, the foundations of this glittering international career were laid right here in Yorkshire. She's simply one of us. Marguerite was born in Doncaster, and her early training was in a friend's bedroom there. Then the formal part was in a ballet school in York. Indeed, I'm told she never travelled outside the boundaries of Yorkshire until she was 15 and went to the Royal Ballet School. On her own admission, it all started by accident. Unusually for a ballet dancer, where petiteness is a prerequisite, Marguerite was apparently tall for her age, and in an effort to fit in, had started stooping. Her grandmother was having none of this and organised ballet lessons in a friend's bedroom to improve her posture. The love was born, and after the Royal Ballet School, she joined the Royal Ballet itself, aged just 17. She describes her time in the corps de ballet as one of blissful happiness. It was a period of extraordinary creativity at Covent Garden, with Sir Frederick Ashton and Kenneth Macmillan. For someone who still hadn't been abroad, one of the excitements was months touring overseas, including 6 weeks in New York. Heady days. And wonderful progress. Marguerite flourished. She wasn't just technically top class, she had that added extra oomph. The ability to interpret, create, and mould a role to make it her own. She was promoted to senior principal dancer, the level at which she partnered Rudolf Nureyev as Odette Odile in Swan Lake, the part every young ballerina aspires to. And she danced all the other leading roles: Juliet, Aurora, Manon, Giselle, and Ophelia. The list goes on. Yet, I can tell you, having seen it from the inside, the glamour of ballet is skin deep. That soaring gossamer movement, that vigorous life-enhancing leap, that emotion-tugging pas de deux, they all need real artistic ability coupled with exceptional technical skill. But more than that, they rely on extraordinary discipline across your whole life and incredible daily hard work. You can never let go. Your muscles hurt, your feet are ruined, you can never stop exercising, you're only as good as your last performance. It's not enough to have talent. Only the dedicated and determined succeed. And Marguerite herself has described this, juxtaposing the remarkable love for it with the pressure of constant striving for perfection. However, the other problem for dancers, as with all physically based professions, is that you can't go on forever. Marguerite has followed her distinguished career as a dancer with an equally distinguished one as a teacher and choreographer, and has worked with others to communicate the joy of dance through film and video. She's passed on her skills to the next generation, teaching at the Royal Ballet School, Ballet Rambert, and Hong Kong Ballet, amongst others. She's choreographed ballets like Garden of Eros for the London City Ballet and Private Lives for the National Theatre. But above all for us in York, she's been director of the Yorkshire Ballet Summer School since 2005. YBSS is a remarkable institution. It's held for 2 weeks every summer, offering dance students aged 9 to 19 and their teachers a chance to attend a residential summer school taught by renowned dancers and teachers of national and international acclaim. The 2016 summer school, which I think is starting tomorrow, will teach almost 100 students in each of the 2 weeks. It's the special goal of giving its students the chance to take masterclasses taught by world-famous dancers, most recently Donald McCleary, Belinda Hatley and Edward Watson from the Royal Ballet. As Marguerite says on its website, our aim is to encourage, inspire and educate our students in a happy and safe environment. We hope that they leave us with renewed joy of the dance and greater confidence. Joy of the dance is what Marguerite has personified during all stages of her varied and distinguished career. As one dancer who partnered her said to me, quote, "Margaret has brought a grace to the stage. I danced with her many times in many different ballets during our time at the Royal Ballet, and she was an exquisite beauty on the stage, very reminiscent of Fontaine." Chancellor, we salute today the ability, determination and dedication to her art form, which meant that this lass from Yorkshire got to the top. And having got to the top, was generous in her efforts to help others appreciate her art form and follow in her footsteps. And I'm proud to present her for the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Dancers on the whole are not at ease making speeches. So it was suggested by friends that I do the whole thing in ballet mime, as that is the language I'm most comfortable with. But I realized quickly that unless you're talking about murder, grief, or falling in love with swans, it is rather limited, and found the only mime of any use at all at this moment would be a deep curtsy of thanks. So, firstly, I'd like to thank the University of York for this wonderful honorary degree. It means an awful, awful lot to me, as you can possibly imagine. When the letter from the university arrived, it came in a large envelope along with a brochure. I just pulled it out of the envelope, looked at the brochure and put the whole thing in the recycling box, thinking it was some kind of advertising. A couple of days later, still perplexed by why the University of York would send me a brochure, I took it out and found the accompanying letter, which I'd missed. It was a wonderful surprise. I'd also like to thank the university for introducing me to the Hotel Divan in the Mount, which happens to be directly opposite 90 the Mount, which is where my life as a dancer began. At the age of 11, I was awarded a scholarship to attend 2 classes a week in New York with a wonderful and experienced teacher named Louise Brown. I was in heaven. I would do class, run across the road to the best fish and chip shop in the world, and dash to the station, chips in hand, to catch the train back to Doncaster. I was a council house child from a particularly grim estate, so the beauty of York was a joyous escape and has remained a special place for me to this day. I left school at 15 to join the Royal Ballet School in London. My education, therefore, has been life itself. If I could offer any advice to you wonderful and brilliant young minds, I would say this: try not to miss any of this extraordinary journey. In the rush of life, it's so easy to go through it at such speed that you are not present for half of it. I would say be there. Be there for the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, treasure, cherish, and remember it, so that years later you can recall it with happiness. The bad, learn from it, take courage from it, and move on. And the ugly, deal with it as best you can, and then dispense with it. Also, I would say use your intuition. If I look back, any regrets I have, and I've had a few, have been simply because I ignored my instincts. Now, as I'm older, I trust and rely upon it, and it stands me in very good stead. I've had an extraordinary and unexpected career, lived through and perhaps survived the golden age of ballet, travelled the world, encountered and befriended great artists, and now return to my Yorkshire roots. So it only remains for me to say, on behalf of an insecure and anxious 11-year-old Donny lass, whose life began as a ballerina here, it is a genuine honour and privilege to be among you on this very special day, and I hope your lives are filled with joy and excitement, and most of all love, as mine has so happily been. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ensemble Honorary will perform Ubi Caritas by Maurice Duruflé, followed by I Get Around by the Beach Boys.
Round, round, get around, I get around. Get around, round, round, 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 I get around.
I'm getting bugged driving up and down the same old strip. I gotta find a new place where the kids are hip. My buddies and me are getting real well known. Yeah, the bad guys know us and they leave us alone.
I get around, round, round, I get around. 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 I get around.
Get around, round, round.
Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Wah, wah.
We always took my car cause it's never been beat. And we've never missed yet with the girls we meet. None of the guys go steady cause it wouldn't be right to leave the best girl home on a Saturday night.
I get around, round, round, I get around. 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 I get around.
Get around, round, round,
Round, round, get around, I get around. Get around, round, round, 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 I get around. I get around.
The Chancellor's Leadership Prizes recognise and reward the most talented and ambitious and driven students who have excelled on the final stage of the University's York Award. A Chancellor's Leadership Prize has been awarded to Sophie Hurst.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History. For research in Anglo-Saxon priests and priestly books circa 900 to 1100, Gerald Dyson. For research in community action in urban Britain, 1960 to 1990, David Ellis. For research in Nero and English political culture, 1580 to 1630, Celia Goodburn. For research in the Royal Military School in Paris, Harold Gieser. For research in Oxfam in Kenya, 1963 to 2002, James Morris. For research in trade union membership in post-war wool textiles, Laura Price. For research in the role of gunpowder in early modern science, Hayley Robertson. For research in a history of British school uniform, Kate Stevenson. For the degree of Master of Arts by Research in History, William Manners. Mark Normington. Derek Tolley. For the degree of Master of Arts in Medieval History, Adelheid Rustenberger. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in French and History, Emma Orchardson. Bethany Radford. Jack Tooth. Victoria Wheeler. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History, Philip Adams. Isabel Akerman. Kelly Allwood. Bethany Alsop. Matthew Anthony. Diane Appen-Sadler. Tom Arnold. Amy Aspinall. James Axford. Felix Eilert. Charlotte Barder. Emily Bagley. Martha Bailey. Elliot Banks. Benjamin Barber. Morgan Barker-Thorne. Kate Barlow. Kirsten Barnard. Stephen Bates. Daniel Beaumont. Isaac Beaver. Victoria Bettany. Isla Bisa. Alexander Binns. Sarah Birch Arras. Josephine Bloor. Laura Brame. Jack Brond. Catherine Bridges. Anna Brown. Georgia Brown. Matilda Byrne. Charlie Bush. Nicholas Burns. Annie Louise Camp. Felix Cazelet. Angara Chambers. Emma Clegg. Kate Clover. Stephanie Clutterbuck. Caitlin Cody. Ronan Coffey. Holly Conway. Anthony Cooper. Holly Cooper. Laura Cox. Charlotte Coyne. Sophie Crump. Emma Cutler. Sarah Dalliday. Laurie Davison. Laura Dean. Josephine Deere. George de Sintra. Annabelle de Gruchy. Thomas de la Mare. Matthew Dent. Faye Dixon. Eleanor Donkersloot. Rosalie Dowding. Catherine Eccleston. Catherine Elwood. Rebecca Elmer. Samira Fernandez. Laura Flanagan. Hannah Forsyth. Hannah Fraser. Dakota Glasgow Simmons. Emily Glaw. Michael Goddard. Daniel Green. Amy Grundy. Polly Hanford. Jessica Harris Edwards. Savannah Hayes. Sophie Hearn. Garrow Heath. Nicole Hendy. Matilda Hayden. Lewis Hill. Rachel Hogan. Guy Holden. Enya Holland. Michael Holland. Lucy Holmes. Anthony Horan. James Hostford. Carly Howard. Emma Howells. Cameron Hunter. Cameron Hunter. Sophie Hurst. Charlotte Islin. Olaf Jensen. Rosanna Johnston. Sean Johnston. Hannah Jones. Kieran Jones. Zachary Khan. Heather Kelly. Julia Kenny. Hannah King. Robert Kiles. Robert Lambert. Paul Leary. Christopher Lees. Kerry Layton. Mark Lickley. Claire Lillywhite. Charles Loynes. Alexander Lusty. Siobhan Lyons. Timothy McBain. Sean Maron. Callum Mars. Anna Marsh. David Marsh. Eleanor Mason. Jennifer Mason. Benjamin May. Louise Mayhew. Alexander McCarthy. Megan McCool. Ella McKernan. Caroline Middleton. Hannah Mitchell. Chloe Moore. Georgia Moppet. Christopher Morgan. Chloe Morrison. Adam Munro. Thomas Murray. Elizabeth Myking. Rebecca Clara G. Nelson. Jeremy Nestor, Helena Newton, Annie Norman, George Norman, Sarah O'Brien, Caroline Ockleston, Helena Page, Holly Parker, Thomas Parks, Maria Patzia, Rob Paulson, Ben Pearson, Alexandra Peckham, Georgina Pepper, Emily Phillips, Samuel Pilkington, Samuel Pontin, Marth Pothen, Emmy Rose Price Goodfellow, Sarah Quickfall, Alistair Ray, Frederick Ream, Charles Reddin, Jessamine Reeder, Sarah Reeves, Rhiannon Riley, Benjamin Russell, Joseph Ridge, Elizabeth Roberts, David Robinson, Francis Roach, Andrew Rouse, Toby Samby, Thomas Sankey, Katrina Sharples, Emma Shaw, Thomas Shelbourne, Alice Simpson, Rory Simpson, Michael Sinclair, Matthew Singleton, Zach Sizer, Abigail Smith, Hannah Smith, Jack Staples Butler, David Stevens, Catherine Stevens, Emily Stevenson, Euphemia Swanson, Oliver Taylor, Ross Telfer. James Thomas. Jenny Thompson. Lucy Thompson. Laurie Thurston. Olivia Thompson. Francis Trevale. Nadine Turner. William Tyrrell. Samuel Wallace. Alexander Walton. Jonathan Ward. Aaron Waters. Joshua Watkins. Stephanie Webber. Amy Wells. James White. Katie White. Jennifer Whitehead. Eleanor Wignall. Joseph Willis. Philippa Willis. Katie Wilson. Rebecca Winby. Lorenzo Wong. Olivia Woodward. Kate Yandel. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History with a year abroad, Bradley Mycock. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Economics, Michael Farrow. Nia Morrish. Amy Moore. Sarah Morris. Claire Poynton. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Philosophy, Heidi Green. Ming Lee. Henry Perks. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Politics, Ellis Atkinson. Emma Bevan. William Kahn. Jack Colwell. Thomas Gorbishley. George Dabby. Peter Darley. Sophie Day. Bethany Dunning. Rosie Frost. Alexander Gannon. Guy Giles. Isabel Hawkins. Zachariah Heritage. Magdalena Marlesh. Alexandra Navrat. Henry Patterson Hudd. Lucas Pierce. Sophie Ramsbottom. Sarah Richardson. Lisa Rumbold. Katie Sandals. Sheikha Sibaluk. Amy Schinder. Reed Spain.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History of Art. For research in St. Stephen's Chapel at Westminster, 1292 to 1363, James Hilson. For research in Anglo-Saxon ivories and their production, circa 1500 to 1066, Lindsay Smith. For the degree of Master of Arts in History of Art, Medieval Art and Medievalisms, Emma Hardiman. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History of Art, Eleanor Abraham. Robert Andrews. Constance Berridge. Alexandra Blaga. Amber Boydell. Daniel Brooks. Jody Brown. Milena Mahardo. Hannah Chamber. Yuran Chen. Joanna Helen Cummings.
Skip to Imogen.
Imogen Denton. Joseph Ford. Alice Maria Walton Garner. Robbie Hodges. Savannah Holmes. Eleanor Hutchison. Elizabeth James. Lydia Johnson. Casimira Contio. Svetlana Liu. Ruth Martin. Baglarka Medyash. Kate Millar. Frederick Miller. Jessica Miller. Jessica Moore. Kate Murphy. Anna Nagy. Francesca Page. Rosalind Parker. Sophie Reeve. Tallulah Gertrude Rashaya. Alice Salt. Lily Seach. Gemma Skelton. Laura Sutcliffe. Chika Tirada. Ellen Thomas. Anna Tisi. Sally Rose Tolson. Areda Visnapu. James Ward.
You can't imagine what a great honour it is to be up there and conferring degrees upon this year's graduates. It's a huge honour, and I've been absolutely delighted to do it. I would like to formally, in the name of the university, announce the conferment of those degrees, announce the conferment of the honorary degree to Dr. Marguerite Porter, and also the conferment of degrees in absentia, that is for candidates who are not able to be with us today. But what a thrill it is actually to be here today. Do you know, it's great being a Chancellor. I'm still finding out. I'm an absolute novice at this. I've still got L plates and fairy wings and water wings and still finding my way. This is my first open season of graduations at the University of York. I had the great honour of following Greg Dyke. Now, Greg started as a student here. He failed his A-levels. He's really proud of that. But he's also very proud that the University of York took him on, invested in him, and made him the success that he is today, the Director General of the BBC, and then the Chairman of the Football Association, and a man who gave 11 years back to the university as Chancellor. So I'm immensely honoured to be able to follow him in this role. But, you know, I started from a very difficult position because I've never been a Chancellor before. I've sat in the audience, I've sat there as an undergraduate, as a postgraduate, as a proud parent, as a professor, as a vice-chancellor, sometimes by mistake getting an honorary degree. But I've never been able to remember a single word that the Chancellor said in any of those ceremonies, including my own. So I needed to take some advice, and I went and spoke to a group of history undergraduates here, just to get a sense of how, if you're an undergraduate at York, you would prepare for a major assignment, like handing in an essay or a major presentation. I'm so grateful. I listened very carefully. I didn't start till last night. I got in a few bottles of beer and some friends. We watched a movie. I got onto Skype and social media. And at 3 a.m. I froze with panic. I had a gallon of high-octane espresso coffee, and then I polished up my act and emerged as the sun came up this morning with this fabulous presentation. So thank you for the York way and for this fantastic support. And I really would like to congratulate everybody who came across the red carpet today. I think it's a huge tribute to modern engineering that heels can be so high and yet so safe. There were no casualties. And can I just say thank you to the particularly tall girls who came up to me and said, "Ooh, I love your hat." Because this is a day really of celebration. These people who came into the hall this morning as undergraduates and in some cases already graduates, but all together graduands, are about to leave as graduates of this great University of York. So I think that the role of the speech that the Chancellor should make should be uplifting and positive, but actually I think it's more likely to be a sedative at this time of day. But let me just tell you about, there was one graduate coming once up the platform. He'd managed to smuggle into the auditorium a blow-up elephant suit. It was an inflatable suit. So he smuggled it in. He got past the sartorial police who sit along the front row here. And as he hit the steps, he blew it up and came off onto the platform, jumping up and down and making elephant-sounding noises. So there was, pandemonium in the auditorium until suddenly there's a splintering sound and he disappeared from sight. And the auditorium went quiet, except for his mother, who said, "Ignore him, it's just a stage. It's just a stage he's going through." So let me say a word about honorary degrees. Honorary degrees are the highest award a university can make. I've been so delighted to hear Caroline Thompson this afternoon, I think it now is, making the oration for the conferment of a degree on Dr. Marguerite Porter. And what a fabulous life, and with what emotion she described the journey that she'd been through. For me, there is only one point of an honorary degree, which is to display to all of us what we're all capable of. And the things that make it possible for us all in our own lives. And I thought this morning that Dr. Porter's speech just was so immensely moving. Thank you so much. But it's not all straightforward, honorary degrees, I can promise you. Now look, back in January we awarded some fantastic honorary degrees. I just want to single out two to make us reflect. One was a brilliant author called Armando Iannucci. He is the man who invented The Thick of It, this TV series and film which is all about the most scurrilous politics. It's about politicians who backbite and stab each other in the back and trample over each other, use spin merchants and create chaos wherever they go. And we said to Armando, "You're exaggerating." What we didn't realise was that current politicians would not use it just as a documentary, but as screenplay for what has been following us over the last 2 weeks, and even as we're in here, further cabinet announcements are being made. So even in 6 months since January, things can change. And that brings me to the other honorary graduate who stood here in January, which was a man called Roy Hodgson. Now, Roy at that time was the manager of the England football squad, and I say we put a lot of work into talking to Roy about selection for the team, the position on the field, the plays that could be made about each of the teams he was going to be up against, and he's a man of immense courtesy. He listened very carefully, but unfortunately he went out and put it all into practice. And it's, I'm afraid, Brexit for England from Euro 2016, and congratulations to Portugal. So we now face ourselves at this stage in the political life of this country in a state of great confusion. I'm reminded of the story that used to be told by that great comedian, the late Victoria Wood. And she said, a few years ago, she said, I went to this party and we had to all put our keys in the middle of the room when we arrived. And she said, I don't know who got my moped, but I've been enjoying this BMW for the past 5 years. And sometimes we just don't get the point of what we're about, and I know a number of people feel the outcome of Brexit is that we're now driving the moped instead of the BMW. So I think there are some serious messages. One is about the essential role of universities and the essential role of our graduates, of ensuring that we remain true to a global mission and to the values that make our universities great, and to the ability of our graduates to adapt to rapidly changing worlds. I think the second message, and I think this is a really difficult one, was, I believe with some accuracy, commentators have said, this really wasn't about Brexit. This was really a cry of pain from disadvantaged parts of our community who have missed out on the benefits that Europe may have brought to our great global cities, but find themselves in cycles of deprivation. It's no coincidence that there was a huge gap geographically, demographically, and in terms of education between those voting for Remain and those voting for Brexit. And if there's one thing that every one of us, has to take from that episode, it is we are a society, we are a nation, and we do have responsibilities and duties that go well beyond our own closed environments. I think that both in terms of universities and the other organisation which I have the honour to represent as chairman of NHS England, there are major threats. There are major threats to us in the NHS because we employ some 150,000 people from other EU countries. We are a national service with multinational staffing. We buy all our goods and services, not only in the UK, but across Europe and across the rest of the world. Our drugs bill is £14 billion a year. Our investment in medical devices, particularly rapidly advancing technologies, which we can craft around patients' illnesses in this country, is a huge amount, and the bill is rapidly going up with the consequence of the drop in the value of sterling. Most importantly, with a service of comprehensive health provision that's free at the point of clinical need, when the national economy sneezes, the NHS catches a cold. And our great threat is to be able to continue to sustain what is a world-class service. So for me, I think the key messages are, first of all, that those who will thrive in this new and difficult world are those with great agility, those with a mental stretch who are able to reach out beyond even the fantastic realm of education that York gives us all, and to understand the complexity of the globe, to understand Britain's new place in the world, and to understand that it is not an inward-looking island, but a nation of great strength and confidence. We must continue to project that. I think, secondly, we have the social opportunity gap that I have just identified of being able to ensure that nobody is left out. We have a neglected part of our society in this country which urgently needs close attention from the political classes. I think, thirdly, I can anticipate that technologies are going to change the employment profiles of our graduating class today in ways which maybe it hasn't before. Technology that, for example, with artificial intelligence, enables us to do things like accountancy and audit, which can increasingly be automated with smart algorithms. And we see it even in medicine, the ability of artificial intelligence to assemble huge volumes of facts and data and medical tests and allow us much more accurately to identify the cause, the prognosis, and the therapies for different conditions. There are those in Silicon Valley who are already proclaiming that for the next 2 decades of healthcare, data science will be much more important than medical science. And that's an exaggeration, but there is a powerful grain of truth in it. And so I think the abiding message is we can only tackle these great challenges by being true to the values that underpin every university, which is intellectual depth, huge personal integrity, trust, but trust which is based upon research and upon understanding of the complexity of science and of mankind, and ultimately an ability to transmit these values beyond the walls of this institution and out into society at large. What even a degree from York does not give us is a sense of entitlement. It's a rite of passage. Let me give you one final example. There's this young man who turns up for his first day as a management trainee in a large company. Meets the manager. The manager says, "Fantastic, really delighted you're here. Look forward to working with you. Here's a broom. Please go and sweep out the shop floor." To which the young man replies, but I'm sorry, I'm a graduate. I'm here on management training. To which the manager says, I apologize, you're absolutely right. Here, give me back the broom and I'll show you how it works. There is no entitlement. There is no shortage of talent, and there's no shortage of opportunities at which that talent can be directed. You are the future. You have the opportunity to transform the world in which we will live, and I wish you every success in doing that. Before I formally close the proceedings, I'd like to offer some thanks. Thanks which I know all our graduating year will approve of. First of all, to all the staff, the teaching staff, but the support staff, and everybody who's made this possible, all of those who have made it possible to be here today and to organise us into our seats. Secondly, the fabulous a cappella group, in nomine, for their fantastic rendition of De Rufflet moving on to the Beach Boys. It's still got us up to 1964, a little way to go, I hope, as we progress through their repertoire. And then finally, thanks to everybody who's come here today and made this such a successful event, and our congratulations to you, our graduates. I declare the ceremony closed.